Welcome everyone. This is my little talk on Diceware. And how not to become a statistic. So, who am I? I'm poiupoiu. You'll see me running around. I'm actually the AV director this year, and I'm also giving a couple other talks involving video, involving audio, and this was something that was interesting to me, and so I said, all right, well, I'm just gonna run some numbers, and, oh, okay, well, what about this? What about this case? What about this? And then I was like, huh, this is a talk, isn't it? So I was already doing all this information you're gonna see for fun. I just turned it into a talk as well. So whoever has had one of their password hashes stolen, ever uses LinkedIn, Yahoo, most recently, Dropbox, Adobe, the Ashley Madison thing, I can honestly say, I'm happy my password and my account was not in there. MySpace, Facebook. If you go to haveibeenpwned.com, here's a listing of some of them. So Flex, Yahoo, Badu, LinkedIn, MySpace, Mate1, Neopets. Here's page 2. Page 3.
Haveibeenpwned.com?
Have I been pwned? I don't think, yeah, haveibeenpwned.com. There's the address. You type in your username or email address, and it goes through all of the databases that has been leaked, and it looks in the 359 million MySpace accounts and see if your account is one of them.
Could you go forward one more page?
So they ask for your username, password, and social security number?
Mother's maiden name, first name, yeah, street you lived on, yes. Yes, sir.
I have several accounts in several of those things, but I checked and I always asked why.
Yes, you were.
He can answer the question.
Yeah, you were.
Oh.
You were, yeah.
She's the
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
LinkedIn, yeah. LinkedIn.
Yeah, so pretty much if you have used a password ever, it's most likely hopefully at least the encrypted version of it has been leaked. So passwords, they're old and busted. Hopefully whenever they do get leaked, they are encrypted. Like with this one, you do a SHA-256 of the password combined with a SHA-256 of the salt, and then you SHA-256 that, and then you do an AES, and then you do another SHA on that. That is actually the hashing algorithm to check the password in the password manager KeyPass. So if any one bit is wrong on any of that, good luck. Not going to happen. So passwords, they're hard to remember. G, question mark, G, $. I'm not going to remember that. It's easy to mess up. Say you start with your dog's name, all right? And then you make it leet. You change the E's to a 3. You change the L's to a 1. You change the S to a $. And then you append a number to it. You append a digit. You append anything like that. Oh, well, Hashcat is one of the biggest cracking programs out there, and it has rules of breaking all of these. If anyone's familiar with XKCD, this is very true. So you got the troubadour password. And difficulty to remember? Hard. Was it trombone? No. The correct horse battery staple. 4 random common words, and hopefully kind of we'll get a better idea of the security of using passphrases through this talk. So the new hotness is passphrases. The documentary Citizen 4, Snowden, at one point, he used a privacy blanket, and he used the term, let me type in my passphrase, which looks like this. To me, it throws a little bit of a throwback to the cone of silence. But Diceware is just an easy way to create passphrases. If I were to ask someone, give me 4 random numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's not random. You need something completely outside of human hands. And the general principle is you take either a set of dice or a die, and you roll it. And you come up with 5 numbers. You write down these numbers, and then you go to the listing. From those numbers, you match them up, you write those words down, and that's your passphrase. And then to you, that would be like your master passphrase, which then key pass or last pass you would use to manage all your passwords, which are 20 characters, gobbledygook that I can honestly would say, I have no idea what half of my passwords are. Over half. So wait a minute, we're talking about a word list. So a couple of things there. The first one, A. 11114 is AA. You got tunic, a question mark, crawl, crave. Very relatively simple words. So we're going to take a look at the security about this as well, hopefully. So 1111 is the first word. 66666 is the last. It's all base 6, so it comes out to 7,776 words total. The average word is 4.2 characters, and it's all lowercase. It has symbols and digits in them. So just a quick, that's what our baseline. 8 characters is less than 8 characters we can say is a trivial password. Pretty much anyone's computer these days can crack them in a matter of hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of course, awful password. A weak character, say let's say for our purposes 8 characters. Moderate, more characters. Strong, let's say more than 12 characters long. So moderate, about 10 characters. Strong password, not a word, not an upper, contains digits, contains symbols. 456 RTYU. That looks strong. No, those are just keyboard runs though. So let's take a what if, and let's play in math land for a few minutes. So a weak character, or weak password, 8 characters, which means 10 to the 15 possibilities. So that's 26 plus 26 for your uppercase, lowercase, your 10 digits, and then 33 special characters, including space. So do all that to the 8th power, come out with 10 to the 15 possibilities there. In Citizen 4, they mentioned that Ed Snowden mentioned create a passphrase that can withstand 1 trillion attacks a second. I'm an engineer. I like numbers. 1 trillion. That sounds fun. Let's just go with that. So 8 characters, upper, lower, special, and digit, at 1 trillion attacks a second, can be broken in about 2 hours. Of any combination of that. A moderate one, okay, 10 to the 19 total possibilities, looking about just under 2 years. Strong password, 12 characters for our sake, 10 to the 23rd, and about 17,135 years at 1 trillion attacks a second. That's pretty good. So let's just say that's brute force. Now let's look at the passphrases. Let's look at the kind of goals we were wanting. Ideally about 10 to the 15 possibilities, moderate 10 to the 19, strong 10 to the 23rd. So the easiest attack, of course, on a passphrase off of a word list is a straight word list attack. We know the finite choices. So assuming all lowercase, nothing special, nothing upper, no characters in between, it's just a straight word. 7,776 words. One word Diceware, a passphrase, 7,776. 2 words, you're looking at 60 million combinations. 3, 10 to the 11. 4, 10 to the 15. 5, 10 to the 19. All the way down to 10. Just because, again, I like numbers. I like good round numbers. 10 to the 38th power. So looking at this, we can say, well, 4 words, that's a relatively weak. Okay, moderate. 5 words. Okay, yeah, 10 to the 19th. There's one right here. 5 words. Okay, 5 words. That's a pretty good number. Strong. A 6-word attack. A 6-word passphrase. Okay. Just for kicks and giggles, let's take an idea of brute forcing on this. Again, assumption of all lowercase, no special characters, using the average length 4.2 or 1 word, 4.2 characters. 2 words, 8.4. 3, and so on and so forth. Possibilities, you're looking at, I'm not going to read the screen, but yeah, 10 to the 11, all the way down to 10 to the 29th. Number of years, really until you get to 3 words, it really becomes strong. 4, you're looking at 31,000 years to do. This comes with a nice table. So I have number of characters in your password, the time it would take, the order in years to break using a brute force attack, using word list, number of, using Diceware, using a word list attack, number of words here, how long that would take, and then just for comparison, a brute force attack on that same Diceware word. So it comes out entry blank blank, entry blank blank, entry blank blank, entry blank blank. It's just kind of fun how that all magically works out. So about a 12-character password of upper, lower, special symbols and digits is about equivalent to a 6-word passphrase from Diceware. If you do the different attacks, a brute force versus a wordless attack. So an example, say I just pulled these numbers from random.org. We have 51531, 22213, 13424, 63316, and 24644. Don't use these numbers. So we look up 51351 is just relic. Cut. Bath. Vu. I had to look that one up. But every. So now we have these 5 words. I forgot. It's not a. That one. It was like, okay, yeah, I get this in Vu. Huh. Whatever. But so relic, cut, bath, vu, every. 5 Diceware words. Looking at this one, we have 19 characters. To brute force this one using with the limitation of just lowercase letters, we're looking at 7 times 10 to the 26th possibilities, which trying to crack it at 1 trillion attacks a second is about 24 million years. So brute force, that's pretty good. Now let's take a look at using hashcat to actually try to do the same thing using the word list that we have. So relic, cut, bath, through every, the 5 words. And we're looking at about 1 year to actually do it. Because we have the 7,776 words to the 5th for 5 words. Comes up with, 2 times 10 to the 19 possibilities. Attack that at 1 trillion times a second and 0.9 years. So let's do some real practical stuff. A single word. I've already created a so I have a plain text file that just says relic cut bath, all the way through relic cut bath through every. Now I've piped all that into MD5 sum, and now I have an MD5 of each of these words. So B3B02C is the MD5 sum hash of relic. If you don't believe me, yep. That and that. So relic, the MD5 sum of the string relic is this. You can see there's no resemblance across any of it. So we're going to do using our word list, going to do a attack. Hashcat. So O for a straight wordless attack, -M0 for a MD5 sum hash that we're going to be attacking. And our file that we're going to be attacking, and then our Diceware dictionary. which literally is this. It's just every single word. All right, and cracked. It's just gone through all the 7,000 just that quick. You can see it says that our key space is exhausted, but we did find relic in our attack. And that lasted, well, 0 seconds. It took less than a second to go through the 7,000 combinations. And it was actually attacking at 2,649,000 kilohashes a second. So 2.4 million right there. Okay, so now let's attack using 2 words. So change A0 from a straight combination, or a straight attack to a combination attack. And then let's put a second dictionary at the end. And let's time it. Oh, found it. Relic cut, right there. You see that took 2 seconds to do. Okay, 1 word, of course, completely insecure. 2, obviously terribly insecure. All right, 3. Our dictionary hashcat can only do, the combination attack can only do 2 dictionaries, so we need to generate new dictionary. So then going into the hashcat tools, there is this combinator right here. And what this will do is we do combinator to clean documents, Diceware clean. And it's just taking all the one dictionary and tacking on every single word of the second dictionary and spitting it out. But of course this is fun in Linux, so we do desktop, Diceware. We can just pipe all this out. Diceware2.txt. Done, okay. For a little comparison, the actual Diceware, just listed the Diceware words, 40 kilobytes. Anyone have a guess of how many kilobytes the Diceware list is going to be? With just 2 words in it? Going from 40 kilobytes to 547 megabytes. So it gets up there pretty quick. All right. So now we have our word list that has 2. Yep. So now we can just do hashcat 64-bit bin. There we go. And do a combinator attack using the 2-word list and the 1-word list. Desktop, Diceware 2. And spinning up. Chugging. We hit stats. So you can see it's actually going through right now. And it'll take about 2 hours to go through. And my laptop isn't too shabby. It's an i7 quad core with hyper-threading, and it's working. You can see it is working. The fan's now spinning on, and it says it's about 80 degrees at the processor right now. So let's just go ahead and stop that one. Well, what's happened if we that'll attack a 3-word passphrase. So let's attack with 4. Using our Diceware 2 list and Diceware 2 list. So now we have a total of 4 words that it's 4 words that it can attack. Going through, you guys.
2 gigabytes.
It is saying, in 1 year and 166 days, it will have exhausted the key space for a total of 4 Diceware words. So you can see, this is not a brute force attack. This is, here's a word. All right, let's add this word. Let's add this word. Let's add this word. This is just for 4 words. More words, more better, right? All right, so now, all right, we've done out of 4. We can do up to 4 words. Let's try for 5. So let's do hashcat tools, source. Again, we can use our combinator. And we wanted, what did I say? We wanted a 3-word list. So we can either use a combinator or a combinator 3, which will just combine 3-word list, or just our second word list and our first word list. So I'm just going to use this one. Desktop. Diceware 2. And documents, Diceware. Again, you can see it's just taking the 3-word lists. A total of have 3 words. Yes, sir.
The combinator.bin, does it put the 2 files sequential or interleave them, or
It,
is it just twice as long?
as opposed to say like 1 decimal, it goes 111, 112, 113, 114, all the way down through all the number of combinations. And then it goes.
Couldn't you just cat the same file, the text file, and have it twice as long?
You could, but then if you have 4 different words instead of 1 word, 1 word, 1 word, 1 word, so you want the interleaving of all 4 of those word lists.
Yeah, it's all possible combinations of
Okay.
every
All right.
single word. at
That's why
once.
it's factorial. Okay.
So we're looking at we're trying to get a 3 Diceware list. All right, so we got a timeout of say 10 seconds. To the combinator Diceware 2, our second or 2-word Diceware list, and our single Diceware list. Desktop and Diceware 3.txt. Okay. This chug. If anyone's not familiar, timeout is a very handy little program that just timeout 5 seconds ping this. And Linux, all right, hey, look, it's done. It took 10 seconds. All right, who wants to take a stab? How big is this file? Remember, we went from 40 kilobytes to 500 megabytes.
1,000 gig.
No, it fit on his laptop.
I'm actually using a very crazy file system, and I have compression at the file system level, as well as snapshots. If you want to talk to me about it later, I'd be happy to talk your ear off about it. So we're looking for 10 seconds. A desktop Diceware 3, 2.8 gigabytes.
Is that the compressed version?
That is the uncompressed version. We'll get to that in a second. So let's just say, what is the last word? Akmesh. So we're not even out of the 2-letter A's from the second word list. So I let this run for a while. I let it run for 5 minutes before. And I stopped it off there at 22 gigabytes. The last word was Abner Q Thud. The first word list still was even in the A's. That was line 29 of 7,776. So 22 gigabytes now for just that little bit. All right, I'm the engineer, I'm the mather. Let's extrapolate. So let's take this from in real life to in theoretical life. It would be a 5.8 terabyte file for 3 words. Now you could use the combinator inside of Hashcat and make it up to 3 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 3 plus 3. So at best, 6 characters, 6 words. And a total of 748 hours to compute it. Again, this is an i7 laptop. It's not shabby. So I tried a couple different ways to say, all right, this one's not gonna happen. I don't have, even compressed, it was coming up on a couple hundred gigabytes. So I was like, all right, I don't have this much time or the resources to do all this. A couple people I saw on forums had said, well, you can make a FIFO file inside of Linux, pipe everything from the combinator into the FIFO file, and then have Hashcat read from that FIFO, because Hashcat doesn't read from standard input. Tried that, it didn't work. It blew up on my face in less than a second. So I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I'm saying it's not trivial. And also came across another thing that said that Hashcat's minimum, or the maximum that it can actually attack is 31 characters in the wordless mode. So if 5 words, and then the combinator mode was 31 plus 31, so a total of 62 characters. So if your 6-word password or passphrase is more than 62 characters, Hashcat's just going to be like, I don't know. So again, we're staying in theoretical land. MD5 is one of the easiest common hashes, which is why I chose that. I intentionally chose a very fast hash. So at a straight attack for 12 characters at 160.3 mega hashes a second is using 100% of my laptop. That will take over 10 years, it says. We live in the age we live in, and the people that are next door, that people are in here, they have toys. So the GTX 1080 is NVIDIA's newest gaming card. And of course someone has taken 8 of them and put them into a box. Keep in mind these cards are what, like $700 a piece? But if you want some cracking power, they have them. 200.3 gigahashes a second for across all 8, which is roughly 1,250 times faster than my little laptop. So it would take this beast of a heater, basically, it would take it about 5 days to crack using this attack on that. All right, 13 characters, 143 days. 14 characters for the brute force attack, about 10 years. So on average, 14 characters. Let's think back. That was at 4.3 letters per word in the Diceware list, 3 words. So 8 GTX 1080s. It would take about 10 years to crack 3 words.
You're gonna need new fans by then.
So, all in conclusion, Diceware is pretty awesome. It is pretty secure. The recommendation from the creators is now to use 6 words minimum. And it's not saying 5 words, okay, yeah, you have a password, all right, yeah, that's not a big deal. 6 characters though, or 6 words, okay, that's pretty good. 7, 8, 9, 10, ha, yeah, good luck with that one. Don't just use the defaults. Throw in a special character. Throw in the capitalization. Put a space between every word. Put a comma. Put a underscore. The more you can make, the harder you can make it, then the better off you are. As NSA Key said, actually tweeted at one point, said, "Make my life hard." He loves to crack things. Make his life hard. Make it 8 character. Make it 8 words. But soft. What light through yonder window breaks. Again, don't use that one. But make it hard. So this is also all these illustrations are attacks on MD5 some. If you use a password security, or I'm sorry, a password manager, a lot of times they have intentionally very slow hashing algorithms, specifically to combat attacks. So if you use a password manager that uses a very hard hashing algorithm, that's as good as you're going to get. So, any questions?
When it says the time it will take to actually crack, is that the time to get to the entire key space?
Yes.
Or an average of what?
That is 100% exhaustion of the key space. So if you want to if you want to say 50% chance, yeah, half that time. Okay, so 10 years, half that, 5 years. That's still a pretty long time. And going back to what we were looking for is 6 words is going to take about 10,000 years at 1 trillion hashes a second. Keep in mind, the 8 GTX 1080s was 200 giga hashes a second versus a trillion. So to exhaust the key space of 6 Diceware words with all the combinations, yeah, 10,000 years. To get 50% chance, only 5,000 years.
Unacceptable.
Okay, 6 words. Going by that, probably in what, 10 million, 100 million years? Going by off the scales linearly. So, good question. Yes, sir.
Is there a type of a cracker that just bases it on the fact that you would use a common phrase or a song lyric or something like that? Because if it's just 5 words, then why can't someone just make up their own passwords?
You can. The issue running into that is, I've already said it I will say it 3 times now, but soft, what light through yonder window breaks. That is a lot of words. That's a lot of characters. Except humans are not random.
Right.
If you, I'll give you 5 random numbers. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Kind of, but it's coming from, you want, the goal of Diceware is to actually literally take it out of your hands to make it equal probable.
Is it better to use 1 dice 5 times? Because if you use 5 dice at once, you might pick them in an order? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You can use 1, you can use 5. Brimstone, I mentioned to him that this talk I was going to be giving, and he actually said that he has some EFF certified dice specifically for Diceware. So if you track him down, ask him about it.
Interesting.
Like I said, random.org, that can do it. There is a, do I have it?
What's his handle? Brimware?
Brimstone.
Brimstone.
Oh, I found one earlier. Diceware. Hey, look at that. Inside the repositories, there actually is a Diceware. But even the creators of Diceware say, do not use a computer. You don't want the random seed to get in anywhere. You want to take it completely out. Don't write it down in a computer. Write it down on a piece of paper. Shred the piece of paper. Burn the piece of paper pad afterwards. Just do not use a computer to do it all. So, any other questions on that? All right. Oh, there it is. Hey. There's the program Roll Dice. So there's 5. 2, 2, 4, 1, 5. I'm not sure where it actually pulls from. It could just be pulling from the pseudo-random generator and the computer itself. But there is, if you really do need it, at least there is a pseudo-random number generator for rolling dice. And that's just in the repositories. Yes.
So why couldn't I just take a favorite book and open it, plunk, write down that word, open it, plunk, write down that word?
You could.
Would that work as well?
Possibly.
It's not as many words as the word list, though. The book
Depends on the
is
book.
going to be very limited vocabulary based compared to that word list.
And also, here, let me pull it up.
Well, you know, I could get one of those giant dictionaries.
Yeah. But still, it's not going to have a.
You can.
And it's not going to have one.
But like, so A and P is one of the A's. A apostrophe S is in the Diceware list. So that includes a lot of different possibilities out there. A baba, or a back. Just some random. I'm going to go to the very end. So question mark, question mark. I mean, unless you're doing some programming, you're probably not going to find that in a Shakespearean sonnet. But, I mean, that is a very possible way of doing it. So, and the other big thing is, if you use Diceware, don't go around giving a talk about it, because then people will know that you use Diceware. No, if you chose to use one of your favorite books and random flip to a page, or use Dice, use a random number generator to flip to a page and a random word. Don't tell people that you used this book and you used this program to do it.
Okay.
So, again, make it long, make it hard for people to steal your passwords. And then use a password manager. I recently had, the whole Yahoo account breach happened. It came to light. Was it just last month? A month or two ago? It's like, well, okay. Log in, create a new 20-character password. All right, that's my new password for that one. I'm done. My wife she had a bad habit of using the same password in multiple places. Well, if one site has it in a very strong hash, that's great. But then if one site also, another site that you have an account with, and you use the same password, use a very, very, very weak, they just use an ND5 sum and not a secure hash, they'll crack that. Oh, hey, okay. I wonder, this person used this password here, they have an account over here, add this to my word list, cracked, done. So she had I think it was actually her Apple ID, her password compromised. I spent a couple hours, literally sat her down, we made a passphrase for her, got on our password manager. She has no idea what any of her passwords are. They are 18 characters long, 18, 19, 20. They include upper, lower, special digits, and it's like, okay, I need this password. Click, click, done. There's your password, you logged in. So a lot of password managers, KeyPass has an option where you can copy and paste the username and password, or it'll do auto typing. So like if you have your login page up on the main screen, you select username, and it has blinky, blinky, blinky. If you, of course, hit tab, it'll go to the password. So you're at blinky, blinky username. Go back, alt-tab back to your KeyPass, select your site for MySpace, for example. Select MySpace, hit Control-V, hands off the keyboard, and it just goes, it alt-tabs over to your browser, fills in your username, fills in your password, hits enter. So a lot of password managers already have a lot of the functionality to help you and to make it as easy as possible.
But you would need it on your actual machine, so kids in school who are using various machines would be able to use a password manager with it.
Correct, unless you did some kind of something else. I have very limited control of what I can install on my computer at work. So I actually I have my KeyPass database on my phone. It makes it very inconvenient where I have to actually show it, all right, deek, 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 deek. But I'd much rather have that inconvenience rather than having the same password across different sites, and eventually, I know more hashes will get stolen. If people want to steal your data, they will. If people want to break into your house, they will. It's making it as hard as possible for them, though. Making yourself as hard of a target. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Good.